Welcome to this Cinema 4D course on nodes. Whether if you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, I've set up this course so that anyone can follow along at the pace that works for them. And all you need to bring here is a little bit of passion and excitement. And today's a beautiful day to 3D model. You can hear the birds are singing outside. It's so beautiful. It's getting warmer here in Chicago, so I am excited about that. So let's go ahead and get started. This is our sample project we've been working on. It's a simpler model. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the cloner node here for a second. You can see our progress that we've made. We've covered all of these nodes so far. So if you're new, you can join in and watch those first in the course. Today we're covering the select node. We're going in order. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about how this works. Our goal with our select node, as you can see here, is to ultimately extrude sections of this. Like you can see here on our countertop, we are extruding inwards so that we create this nice little detailing around here. And remember, this is your project, so feel free to get creative. If you want to make your countertop look a little bit different, go ahead, do it, experiment, enjoy the process. If you want to follow along me step by step, you can as well. This is where we left off. We've done the inset, and now we're going to need to add our selection node. So if you aren't already in this layout, all you need to do is click your nodes up here. And if you want to be able to see your indexes, all you need to do is open up here, turn on polygon indexes and point indexes, as usual, is what we've covered in the past. Now you can see what polygons are what, which is going to be nice and handy for us. Let's go ahead and open up our asset browser here up in the upper left, and we'll go down to our nodes. You'll be able to find your selection node in your geo selection. We'll go ahead and drag and drop select in here. You can see that this works both as node and as capsule. Capsules you can drop into your objects manager to adjust and make selections, modify models as well. For right now, we're covering the ability to do this with nodes, and then later on we'll show how to do this with capsules because they overlap. So you can see here we have our inset. Now we want to extrude this. Now you can choose what sides you want to extrude. So go ahead and take a look at your indexes. You may want to extrude 1, 2, 3, and 0. You can see them here. You could decide I only want to extrude 1 and 3 if you'd like. But you just want to have an idea of what you want to adjust on here. And these numbers help you know what you're selecting. So we're going to connect our geometry port of our inset to our geometry port of our select, geometry port of our select to our geometry output, just for right now. So here we can select what we'd like to modify when we add in our next node. And when I choose select, you'll see our options appear in our attributes manager. Now you can choose to select points, edges, or polygons here. This is your type. And of course, if you want to be able to make any one of these ports show up on your select node itself, you just hit Control and click here on these round dots, and you'll see that type appears here. So you can also use these ports to input these values itself. For target, you can choose your active selection. So with our inset, we can choose active selection, or we can choose a selection string. So this works very similar to the tools we've covered in the past. So if you know how to set up selection strings that way, you can do the same here. And you have this option of active selection or hidden selection. Active selection will just use whatever selection is active, usually from the last node that you are connecting. In this case, let's go ahead and choose to add in 1. Again, you can choose to select whatever you'd like. This is going to be what we extrude. 2, I'll choose 1 and 2. Let's do 3 and 4. Or actually not 4, this is 0. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, and 0. So now that we have all of those selected, you'll be able to add in your modifier. So if we go to our geo modifier, what we're going to be covering in the next episode is this extrude. So I'm just going to drop this in here. And this does a lot like what it sounds like it does. It extrudes the surface. Now we're going to cover all the settings for this in greater depth in the next episode. So if you're interested in that, please click this link up here, and I hope to see you there.